You guys won't believe this. I haven't changed the oil in here for a year and a half. Loosen the oil filter just enough that some comes out, but it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, don't judge me. I just flipped the oil filter upside down and poured the whole thing like an idiot. Welcome back, JDM fam. Thank you guys for watching. Now, I probably look bad right now. It's super hot out. I just went swimming a little bit ago, and I thought before I go take a shower, I might as well change the oil in the CRV. Now, you guys are probably going to be really disappointed in me, and this is because last night I was checking my maintenance history, my maintenance logs on my CRV, basically just pictures that I take of the odometer when I change the oil. You guys won't believe this. I haven't changed the oil in here for a year and a half. I didn't realize this until last night. We're getting on the oil change today, guys. We have to get this done. I've had the oil sitting in the garage for a little bit, and I've been so busy with the baby and moving and everything that I haven't worried about getting it done. I did know it needed to be done, but I didn't realize it needed to be done this bad. I feel so bad. This CRV is awesome. It's taken care of me for so many years, and you can literally neglect these vehicles and they'll still take care of you. And with all of the moving and everything, I've been throwing so much back here that I wouldn't be able to fit in the Jeep or the new vehicle, which I have to show you guys the new vehicle still. So let's get this oil change done. It is super hot out here. It's early and it's probably like 110 out already. So I popped the hood already. Let's start draining the oil and get some new oil in this girl. All right, so here's the CRV. Like I said, I've been using it a lot, and it is dirty. It does need another wash. It needs a wax as well, which I will be getting on very soon. I just noticed, I don't know, a couple weeks ago that it has been leaking oil. It has a small valve cover leak, I'm assuming. I just haven't even noticed that it was leaking. But yeah, it's time to get this oil change done. Let's pop the hood, start draining the oil right now. Super dark oil. I expected this, but still really needs to go. Not bad. It is probably at like 40% in between the dots. That's not bad at all, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't super low. You gotta love a lifted CRV. There's literally so much space down here to change the oil. You really don't need to jack it up or worry about getting more space down here. That's the great thing about this thing. Let's break this bolt. There we go, not too tight. That's a good thing. I was the last one to change the oil in here, but still. Also, it's really nice this oil isn't the zero weight, because it's not entirely like water, like the Type R's oil or my son's Lexus IS. I just screwed that up and got it all over my hand. But it's not as bad. That's a good thing. But oh yeah, I just got oil everywhere. That was not good. So I don't know if you guys can see, but this oil is really dark, but it's over the time limit, obviously, a year and a half old, but it's only at like 7,000 miles, so that's not bad. But you don't want to wait too long. Gas can get in your oil and dilute it, and then it won't lubricate your engine as well. And it does smell like gas, which your oil probably will smell like gas regardless of the miles. So yeah, it's almost done draining. Then we're gonna start working on the oil filter. Okay, so I'm laying on the passenger side with my head towards the front of the car. Now, what I usually do is get in right there. If you guys can see that, here is the oil filter right above the axle right there. It's right there. So what I'm going to do is use my left arm, get up there and loosen it up with the oil pan under here. Now there is a little drain spot right here, but it does usually go all over the place. So you want to make sure the oil pan's under here enough to where it can catch all of the oil that comes off of this. I don't remember where it comes off of, but I believe it comes off of the subframe all over on the side. So I'm gonna try to catch as much as I can while still having it drain the oil, the engine oil. This thing's probably gonna go everywhere. We're gonna let it drain slowly though. We're just gonna let a little bit drain out at a time. See, it's coming out right here. It's literally coming off the little spout right there. And it's just draining nice and slow. That's what you wanna do. Loosen the oil filter just enough that some comes out, but it doesn't go everywhere. I see it's also coming out of the hole on the subframe right here and lower or higher up on the subframe up there. Okay, don't judge me. I just flipped the oil filter upside down and poured the whole thing like an idiot. I really should have taken my time and just pulled it down. So that's one thing you definitely don't want to do. So there's the oil filter right there. I just dumped it all down, and I was so careful before, but if you guys don't do that, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. I can't believe I just did that. So right there is where the oil filter mounts. You want to make sure the seal, which is right here, is not left from the old oil filter. That way you don't have any leaks. Obviously, if you've done this many times, you probably know that. But if you're a noob, make sure you have a nice clean surface to mount your new oil filter. Also, I am going to throw some oil on this gasket so it does not stick when I change the oil in the future. So yeah, we're gonna throw some oil on this gasket, throw it onto there, and then throw a new washer on the bolt down here, and then throw some new oil in. Let's go. All right, oil filter's back in there. There's the old one right there, and here is the oil. We're going to clean off the oil drain bolt, put a new washer on from Honda. Fun fact, I forgot to mention, the oil filters basically fit for every single Honda. Honda told me there were 2 models that these oil filters will not fit on, everything else they will. So when I got my Civic Type R oil filters, you could basically use the same oil filter on the Civic Type R as a 2nd gen CRV or a 7th gen Civic. And I believe it was the S2000 is excluded, and there's one other car, maybe it was the Element or something. Maybe it was, I don't remember. It was a weird off car that you don't hear of that often. Also, I did want to mention how I tighten up the oil filter, basically with oil on my hand. I tighten it as much as possible, and then when it starts slipping, I barely tighten it a little bit past that if you can, slowly, and then that's basically tight. You don't have to wrench on them and get them super tight, and you also want to make sure that it's sealed. Also, with the oil drain bolt, you want to wipe it off, throw a new washer on, and then once it basically feels like it's going to stop, you just hit it one more time for like a 1/4 turn or a 1/2 turn, boom, and make sure it's tight. So Google says it takes 4.4 quarts, so I filled it up to 4 quarts, and then I'm going to slowly top it up. And then what I like to do basically is just fill it all the way up to the top dot on the dipstick, and then start it up, let it run for a few minutes, make sure there's no leaks, and then shut it down and fill it back up to about 3/4 on the in between the dots. And then that way it has time, from my experience, it will go from the 3/4 up towards the top, but you won't overfill it, because if you just put it straight up to the top overnight, it has a tendency of going over the top dot. So that's what we're doing right now. I just filled it up 4 quarts. We're gonna top it up and keep checking it, and then we'll start it up, make sure there's no leaks, top it off completely. All right, it's running really good. It's running smooth and really quiet compared to how it was. Really happy about this. I want to keep this car for the next few years, for the foreseeable future, and I just love it. And I definitely need to clean off this engine bay. Check it out. I really hate that the iVTEC decal is gone. Last time it fell off, it was down there. I don't know where it's at, but I need to get another one of those. It looks ugly without it, but it is running so good and smooth. Listen to this. It's running really good. Obviously, underneath the engine, you want to wipe it down, make sure that it's clean so you can tell if there's any leaks, but there are no leaks so far. It's running so quiet, guys. Listen to that. This thing runs like a champ, man. I love these K-Series engines. It's so quiet. So quiet. Probably needs a valve adjustment, but even though it still is purring, it's purring quietly. So yeah, now that it's ran for a minute, we're gonna make sure there's no oil leaks. I'm gonna check again, double check underneath, and then we will top off the engine completely. But so far so good, almost done. So I wiped it down a little bit, it looks a little bit better, but upon further inspection, I noticed it's the power steering pump. So I'm gonna need to fix that. Probably make a video about it, guys, but that's why it's over there and it's on the right of the vehicle, passenger side. So definitely gonna have to fix that soon, especially before I end up getting moving. But yeah, we're done, guys. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button if you guys like Honda content and CRV content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.